I was telling Anthony that it really sucked this morning because I couldn't get into a music groove.
Well, the music groove, very important for the long drive.
The music breaks, we're doing more than usual because I'm being a company guy and I'm listening to Sirius XM satellite radio. This service is amazing.
Oh, isn't it?
Oh, my God, it's terrific. And
so much.
And I couldn't get into a fucking groove. I went to the Grateful Dead channel, which we discussed ad nauseum yesterday.
Yes.
And I was with you. They were plinking and plowing and feedbacking, and I don't know what the fuck I was listening to.
Not an iota of rhythm to the song, or
because all kidding aside, I don't mind a good jam song if they get into a kind of a groove and you can almost bounce to it. I like that.
Yeah.
This was just pling, pling.
Annoying.
4:15 in the morning. This is what I'm hearing. Ooh, and then
they're really,
and then
you can't do that at that hour driving.
Gling, 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 gling.
Why? How?
I was just thinking about you again. I'm like, Anthony would hate this.
Oh, I'd be livid.
I hate it too. And then I moved down to the Elvis channel. I'm getting paid to like talk about the company now. First break.
Wow.
And they had some dude. We've talked about the Elvis channel. They find people that did not have a relationship with Elvis, but that might have had some kind of like they saw him walking by them on the sidewalk one day. And then they do
exciting.
And then they do a 15-minute story on. Well, tell your story. And this guy, I guess, was stationed in Germany.
Oh, during
when
the
Elvis
army,
was there, and then the guy goes, well, I think it was after it was on Ed Sullivan, and then his wife pipes in and goes, well, actually, Elvis was on Steve Allen before he was on Ed Sullivan.
That's the kind of content on the Elvis channel?
And then there was this common area where you could get pots and pans for wherever the fuck you live in Germany when you're in the army. And Elvis was very curious to know if people were still digging him and his music back in the States.
And people are supposed to listen to this and like it?
And then the story had no ending. I don't even know what the purpose of the story was. He had nothing.
But he had a brush with Elvis.
I don't know. I guess he might have walked by to get a fucking frying pan or something.
That sounds terrible.
It was horrendous. I'm like, what am I listening to?
It should be called Anything Elvis. Right. Remotely Elvis.
I mean, how many times can they play Hound Dog, I guess?
But they get excited. They're like, oh, God, tell your story. Please, tell your story. And then the story is no story.
Through your tears.
Right. I think we got to get Elvis stories one day. It
really?
could be a great bit.
Who has an Elvis story?
Could you find that phone call? It was right before, what time we at? Fuck, I don't know. Fucking, maybe around, it was just before 5 a.m. Is there any way you can find this guy talking about Elvis just before 5 a.m.?
I don't have access to the Elvis.
Why don't we have access?
They don't let you have access to channels that aren't yours.
I need access to all the channels.
Why?
Make a mixtape.
Why?
I can find music, but I can't find...
We all work for the same company, right?
I heard.
So if you're talking about the company, then you go, I heard this thing. I want to.
Let me show you a little. Yeah. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be good?
You'd think.
I mean, we're going to beat the shit out of it, but then it might turn people onto the fact that there's an Elvis channel on Sirius XM.
They don't want you pilfering. Like any company has merchandise that you could pilfer, whether it's paper clips or music.
You're going to pilfer their content on the Elvis channel to fill up this?
Yeah, you're going to make a fucking bootleg tape of some guy from Germany talking about Elvis.
Oh, my God. It was
very protective.
But then I was trying to do the math, and I think the guy's like 102 or something.
Wow.
No, I don't know. He's
got to be old.
It was 59. 59. Elvis was in Germany, 41, 54 years ago. This guy's telling a story about how fucking Elvis walked in and got a pot or something to boil water. I don't know what happened, and now we can't even play the fucking thing. Come on, E-Rock, find it.
I can't get to it.
Hey, where's the spigot? Where's the spigot for this water? Lend some water. It's like he's got this story. And then he came up to me.
And then they played an amazing version of Blue Suede Shoes.
Blue Suede Shoes, of course.
No, I'm not even joking.
Yeah?
It was amazing. because someone took the song and fucking updated it. There was like scratching. I thought I was listening to a Drew Boogie production.
Really?
They scratched the shit out of it and added a whole bunch of drum beats.
Well,
can we at least play that? E-Rock.
Oh, E-Rock.
All right, let me look for that.
All right, God.
Oh no.
And then the only other song that I appreciated on the way in was Till Tuesday, Voices Carry.
Oh.
I just couldn't find music this morning, man.
It's rough, too. On a long drive, it's dark.
Right.
You just, the humming of the wheels on the pavement, and you got to stay awake.
I was going about 80, and then did you experience any of this fog on the way in?
Oh, no.
But it's that patchy fog. It's not that fog where it's like, oh, okay, we're in fog. Okay, I can handle this. It's like you're flying along and you hit a patch of fog. You're like, you think you're in a cloud?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I hope the road still goes straight because I have no idea.
Or there isn't a pileup.
Right.
Comes out of nowhere.
Holy fuck. Oh, here we go.
That's a long drive, man.
Here we go. Let's go to Jim in Indiana. Go ahead, Jim.
Oh.
Hey, I just thought I'd give you guys my quick Elvis story. And I was stationed in Freiburg, Germany, same place he was.
Right.
And believe it or not, the same guy was still cutting hair there in 1986 that cut Elvis's hair, and they made a big deal out of it every day when you go in there. You know, you have his clippers on the wall with the pictures and all that shit.
Right. Did he have the clippers? Did he have a lock of Elvis's hair?
You got it, brother. All framed real nice and all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
Oh, we got some chat going on the Elvis channel right now. Yeah, let's go.
I'm gonna get a haircut.
I just thought I'd throw that out there for you. I knew everybody had an Elvis story. I throw mine in there.
That's a good Elvis story right there. That guy could be on the Elvis channel.
Yeah, they could
with
do
that.
They could do 20 minutes on that.
The guy was still cutting hair over there.
You got some Elvis chatting going on right now?
Yeah, they're talking about some guy who did business with him.
All right, yeah, let's
hear.
But you know what, DJ Scotty mentions in the book? Something that's very sad, and that is that he never made much money with Elvis. He lists all of his tax returns into the book.
He does.
Yes, sir.
Can you believe that? Isn't that interesting?
And the most he ever made in 1 year with Elvis was about $18,000 to $20,000.
That's about it.
So just
and Elvis was making millions.
I mean, less than that.
You're not
trying to make it more interesting.
Colonel Parker should have made a deal with you guys. And he says in the book, Scotty Moore, we're talking with DJ Fontana, ladies and gentlemen, Elvis' original drummer. And he just walked in the door and announced, great to see D. But Scotty says in the book
original drummer.
that Colonel Parker went behind their backs and was trying to get Hank Snow's band to back him on the road.
He was.
Back Elvis.
He was.
And they said they weren't going to go for it. Wow. And then Elvis said he heard about it. He hit the ceiling, too.
He did.
But, I mean, that's not cool.
Well, that's different type bands completely different.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a bluegrass band.
Yeah, precisely.
It was a rock and roll band.
And they said, and then what would you save money?
I guess there's an audience for this. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated, quite frankly.
Talking to Elvis's original drummer? Yeah. I didn't even know there were drums in Elvis's songs.
In the book, he mentions it because all the time in the early years or the later years, I used to ask Scotty about it.
Yeah.
So, GK, we asked Elvis, and Elvis said, go see the Colonel, And it was about that 1%. See, Jim, Elvis was going to give Scotty, DJ, and Bill 1% of everything he made.
Now, that sounds like a small amount, but that's a lot.
Oh, we figured up
money.
We figured it up about $2 million.
Wow.
That 1% would have come to more money than Scotty made in a year with Elvis as far as, every year.
Wow. Elvis wanted
They're not even talking with Scotty.
They're
talking about Scotty.
Right.
And it's so funny because they have to turn it around to make sure everybody knows that they're saying the Colonel was the bad guy, not Elvis.
They never bash Elvis.
All the callers call, don't you disrespect the king.
Elvis wanted to give him the $2 million, but he said talk to the Colonel. The Colonel gave him a hard time.
I'm obsessed with the Elvis stories on the Elvis channel because they go nowhere.
Yeah.
It's just some weird connection to Elvis Presley.
This one's just on pause. We can listen to the rest of it.
Oh, please.
Okay.
I want to hear.
Who are they talking to? The original drummer?
No, they're talking about the original drummer.
They're talking to him, though. Are they talking to him?
I didn't hear him.
Maybe he's in there somewhere.
Oh, I thought he was one of those guys.
And then what? Some guy that did Elvis's taxes once or something is writing a book about that?
I don't know. I have no idea what they're actually talking about.
He shut down everything. Oh. We were driving out of California, me, Scotty, and Bill, and this guy, we had the yellow Cadillac then. The one
we had in Canada. The yellow Cadillac
thing,
limousine,
And So this guy pulled us over, and he told me who you were, and I said, yeah, that's pull over here at this restaurant, I want to talk to you. So he said, I'll tell you what I'll do, guys. I'll give you everybody a brand new Lincoln. He was going to give us Lincolns.
What?
Wow.
I said, well,
He goes,
I'll
wow.
take one. And Scott said, we'll take one. And Bill, and he said, well, Elvis has got to be involved in this thing. He said, well, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Well, the Colonel shot that down, too. He didn't,
Goddamn
he,
Colonel piece of shit.
No.
He wouldn't allow everyone to get a Lincoln?
No. Yeah, he's going to give Elvis one.
Yeah, just
Oh,
Elvis.
man.
And he said, no, I want everybody.
Why wouldn't the Colonel do it?
Well, you know the Colonel.
Yeah, I'll tell you a story, Chief.
He didn't elaborate. Well, you know the Colonel. Why didn't the Colonel do it? Well, you know the Colonel.
The Colonel can't just hand out Lincolns.
Yeah.
To nobodies in Elvis's camp.
Why didn't the Colonel give everybody Lincoln? Well, you know the Colonel.
Elvis
Anyway,
wanted
I got
it.
another story.
Look,
Yeah.
It was Elvis, then the Colonel. You can maybe put Priscilla in there, and that's it. Everyone else who gives a fuck gives a fuck about them.
Wow. Any more?
Yeah.
I gotta have a little more.
Really?
You remember Cliff? You know, Cliff was a young Colonel Parker.
Yes,
He was a good con artist, too.
He was good.
And Cliff, we're in New Orleans, and Elvis is making King Creole. And you guys have already gone back, because y'all have already cut the soundtrack and everything. And so this guy, we're on the set in New Orleans, down in the French Quarters, and this guy walks up and he's got on a beautiful sport coat. He's an extra in the picture. And Cliff zeroes in on him.
Oh, boy.
Hey, man, I like that coat. Man. Where'd you get that coat? Well, my daddy owns a clothing store in downtown New Orleans. And Cliff said, oh, he does? And Cliff said, I'll tell you what, I'm with Elvis, GK's with Elvis, Alan Fortas is with Elvis, Lamar, all these guys with Elvis. And we like them coats, man. And he said, Cliff said, we got to work a deal here. You guys work a deal? What do you mean? Cliff was going to work on it. And so he went to work.
I am fascinated by this.
I am too.
You have to listen to Elvis Channel. These stories go nowhere, and they're from people that have not barely a connection to Elvis.
It sounds like these guys were all trying to get free shit,
Right.
Because they were peripherally involved with Elvis.
Because they're hanging with the king.
That's what that story was. I got to tell you about the one time I tried to get a free coat by using Elvis's name.
I'm trying to get Lincoln Continentals. I'm fucking.
Elvis isn't even in these stories.
No, that's what I'm trying to tell you. They ran out of stories years ago. So they're finding these people that almost had a connection with Elvis.
It was during the time Elvis was filming King Creole.
Stories go nowhere. Yeah, everyone's saying it.
They're so good.
All right, we got to at least get to the end of the coach story.
Just a little.
Okay, all right, let's do this.
The guy, he said, look, he said, now, he really had a good con. He said, we could easily go down and buy those coats. We make a lot of money with Elvis. We could buy them coats. You know, all of Elvis's guys, the mafia guys, we could wear them coats around New Orleans and Memphis and Hollywood. So we got them from your daddy down in New Orleans. But that wouldn't be cool having to pay for them. Here's what I'd like to do. And the guy said, what would you like to do? He said, well, you come up to the hotel. We're at the Roosevelt Hotel. He said, GK, what size coat you wear? I said, 38 regular. He said, Alan, what's that? And the guy was writing down all the sizes. Everybody wrote it. Cliff said, okay, now here's what we're going to do. And when we get through shooting today on this King Creole movie, you go on down and tell your daddy, here's what the deal is. You give us the coats, and then we're going to let you advertise the fact that Elvis's guys wears these coats from your daddy's clothing store. And we're going to save your daddy a lot of money on advertising because he gets those clothing wholesale. We know the deal on clothing, 100% markup. Guy said, yeah, you're right, Mr. Cleves. He said, well, okay, you be at the hotel. And DJ, I promise you. And also show how good Cliff was a con artist. He said, and you be sure and get Colonel Parker one. He wears about a 46 or something. Yeah. So the guy shows up at the Roosevelt Hotel, DJ, and he's got all these sport coats. And the Blazers were just coming in. Yeah. There's a beautiful blazer.
What is this? It's exhausting.
The most inane fucking drivel.
There's too much detail.
There's no reason to tell this story.
I have to hear how this ends, though.
I know.
That's what I'm saying.
I have to hear the ending.
I can't get over this.
What happened with these coats?
This is what happens on the Elvis channel?
Yes.
And he's not even losing confidence in the story.
No! No, he is all in.
He's not going halfway through and realizing, this isn't leading anywhere.
I better wrap it up.
This is the coat story.
Were they staying at the Roosevelt Hotel, or was he lying about that just to get him somewhere away, like not where Elvis was?
I don't know.
But what does this have to do with Elvis?
I'd love to hear from the bellman from the Roosevelt Hotel.
No problem. No, they're trying to find him now.
Elvis hit 7.
What about this coat thing?
All right, go ahead.
It's really pretty, you know. So my blazer fit and Alan's fit. We had on our blazers, man. We was walking around the hotel with them on. And so the next day, Cliff says, "Now I got to tell you what. I talked to the assistant director. He's going to use you again tomorrow." You know, they were looking for extras, you know.
Yeah.
So Cliff was cool. So the guy shows up, and he's got Colonel Parker's jacket. So we got on all of our blue blazers. They look really good, you know. So Cliff says, "See that guy over there? That's Colonel Parker." He said, "Yeah, I've seen him in pictures of him in magazines." He said, "Here's what you do." You walk over and you said, Colonel Thomas A. Parker, he had his full name. You said, "Colonel Thomas A. Parker, in behalf of the people of New Orleans and my daddy's clothing store, I'd like to give you one of these beautiful blazers as a gift." And so we were watching, you know. We stood off and watched. He went over and said, "Colonel Parker, Colonel, you know how Colonel, what do you want, man? You know how Colonel was." Colonel, and he went and made the speech. He said, "Colonel Parker, on behalf of my father, who owns such and such clothing store down in New Orleans, we'd like to give you this sport coat as a gift from the people of New Orleans." Colonel Parker, "What's the deal here?" He said, "Oh, no, Colonel, there's no deal. I gave some of Elvis's guys these coats. I'm going to give you one." And Colonel, he started smiling, and he put the coat in his hand, and he walked over and said, "Come here, Cliff." He said, "I know you had something to do with this." He zeroed on Cliff. And so Cliff said, "Well, look, Colonel," he had a great answer. He said, "Look, we all gathered around, had our coats on."
Pause.
And Colonel,
The problem is these stories, maybe for an Elvis fan, would be fun to listen to, I guess, but if it was a minute quick story, and they get into Hound Dog for the 8 millionth time.
They don't go anywhere. This is a guy who loves himself. Like I don't even know how he would end this story.
I'll tell you how you know it's bad, because he starts laughing before he gets to the. That's the
Right.
cue.
Yeah.
And he goes, "I know you're into this, Cliff." Well, yeah.
I
Don't expect the punchline. Don't expect the big out. I haven't heard the end of this story, but I've heard enough stories on the Elvis Channel to know that this is just going to peter out.
Let me guess how it's going to end. The Colonel walks over and he goes, "You guys just get some free coats, didn't you?" Yeah, you wrote Cliff.
Elvis.
yeah.
All right, let's go.
told him his coat. I don't know about you guys taking them coats for this guy. He may have something up his sleeve. And Cliff said, "Look, Colonel, if we bought those coats, he was going to buy commercials and say, 'Elvis guys wear these coats. Why don't we just get them free, man?'" Yeah. And the Colonel said, "That's a good idea, Cliff."
Cliff was slick.
That was it.
Cliff was slick.
That was
That's the punchline.
He's like, yeah, we get them coats free. You know, we're paying for them coats.
My favorite part is the uncomfortable, I know this is the end of the story, titter of the woman.
Yes.
Can you go back a little and listen to her?
Yes, a titter.
Listen to her fucking forced titter.
Oh, there's no way to really go back.
I'd have to go back like 5 minutes.
Okay.
No, we can't go back 5 minutes.
No. But did you catch the titter?
5 minutes too long.
Yes.
Well, we could have just replayed it from our own feed.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
That's like some kind of...
Look at E-Rock. Okay.
Do you have it?
I can get it. Hold
That's
on.
like some kind of crazy
Her titter is
paradox.
amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, that I'm stunned.
That's a bad story.
That's what's going on.
There's a million of those.
It's a bad
There's
story.
a million of those.
I thought they just played Elvis music.
Oh, no. It's all about talking about Elvis.
I just thought it was the music.
And if you had some kind of, like, interaction with him, even if it was
Apparently
very
not.
distant,
You don't even need interaction.
call the Elvis channel. They'll take your story.
I mean, that's something that doesn't happen very often. Is somebody that gives merchandise to celebrities for free for advertising. You don't see that.
Mm. Yeah. Very, you know what that story, though, did sound? It was very Dice-like. Very Dice-like.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Like Dice and the people
Trying
with
to get
Dice.
shit for free.
Yeah, trying to get the free stuff.
Right, of course.
Wheeling and dealing.
Of course. You got it, E-Rock.
Oh, E-Rock. Oh, boy.
Right.
Oh.
I have that, and I have that remix that Hope was looking forward to.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
I just wanted to hear that titter. It's so awful.
Oh, crap.
Oh, that didn't sound good.
No, but of all the times to pull out your review.
Oh, that's not good. Silence and then, oh, crap.
I hit play and then restarted here. Let's see if this is it.
All right.
Said, I know you had something to do with this. He zeroed on a Cliff. And so Cliff said, well, look, Colonel, he had a great answer. He said, look, we all gathered around, had our coats on.
Pause.
And Colonel,
The problem...
No, that wasn't it.
Oh,
No.
my God.
No.
E-Rock.
There was a 5-second backup.
Were you listening, E-Rock?
Yeah, he wants that girl's Twitter in the back.
He's flustered.
He wants that girl's Twitter name.
I don't think he was really listening.
Were you listening, E-Rock?
Yeah, I heard it, but I thought Sam was playing it off there. I didn't know you wanted me to go first. Come on.
Fair enough.
Oh, boy.
But then Jimmy said...
E-Rock could make a terrible astronaut, wouldn't he? Like
For a lot of reasons. He was dumb. He wouldn't fit in a capsule. Sorry, Eric.
It just, I don't know.
You mean you don't want to hear from Mission Control? Oh, crap.
Oh, crap. Imagine that. Like, yeah. Eric, how we doing up there? Did you stir the tanks? Oh, crap.
E-Rock, are we giving up on this?
I'm trying to find it.
Oh,
No.
It was right before.
because he wasn't listening. He's going to make believe he was. I
Well,
saw
you
him on
weren't
another
listening.
computer.
Doesn't mean I wasn't listening. I just didn't have your shitty Elvis stuff.
Bikini Girls?
This is one small meal for E-Rock, one giant meal for mankind. See?
Here it is.
Oh, all right. 5 minutes later. Good. Let's hear it.
Yeah, because this is really important.
Oh,
Here
E-Rock.
it is.
guys, where he goes, why don't we just get him free, man? Yeah. And the Colonel said, that's a good idea.
That was all. I wanted to hear Twitter.
That fake laugh in the back. Can we get to the end of the story there, Sam?
I figured it'd be a 2-second thing. I didn't realize.
Yeah, please. And then and now we pick up with the coat thing.
It was real estate money.
He was slick.
For those of you who don't know, Cliff Lees was a disc jockey from Nashville. I went to college with him, so did Wink Martindale. He hooked up with Elvis, and what it was, Elvis was downtown Memphis one day, and it's 5 o'clock traffic.
Hang on.
He's just going into another story?
Because now we're about to hear the story of Cliff. We're past the coats. That was the end of the coats.
That was Cliff and the coach. Now it's Cliff and traffic in Memphis. Yes, this is the Cliff story.
Yeah.
With Elvis, walking around Memphis at 5 o'clock one day?
Right.
Okay. This could be a good story.
Maybe.
It just goes one after another.
It won't
like
be
this.
a good story.
No, I think it's going to be a good story.
Cliff is a bit of a character. Is
Yes,
that right?
he is.
Yeah.
He's
He
dangerous.
runs out of gas. You know DJ, how Elvis was. He wouldn't stop getting gas.
No.
So he runs out, and here comes Cliff in an old jalopy. Excuse me 1 second here.
Uh-oh.
Hot tea.
Hot tea. So Cliff, and he hits his brake.
Dipping his scrotum in a
Backs up. Man, you Elvis Presley. See, I'm Elvis Presley, so I'm Cliff Lees, man. I know Wink Martindale and George Klein.
Martindale.
What's wrong, Elvis? So I ran out of gas. He said, where are you going? I said, well, I live on a drive out in East Memphis. He said, let me give you a ride home. We'll come back and get your car later. Elvis said, okay. Elvis jumped in Cliff's car, took him to Autumn Drive, fed him dinner and everything. And he said, and we'd be on the road, and they'd say, Elvis, how long was that guy moving with you? He said, well, I brought him home for supper, and he stayed 10 years.
Yeah. It's about the
They really are having a pisser in there,
I don't
aren't
know
they?
why they would laugh at that, though.
Why would they laugh?
It's a joke Elvis told in 1974, allegedly.
Dinner for 10 years.
I think it was the young Elvis, because he ran out of gas, and they had to drive him home.
Yeah.
Run out of gas.
I bet you Elvis doesn't even remember running out of gas.
He wouldn't
or
have
anyone
remembered
driving
any
him
of that.
home.
No. If the story was Elvis was half asleep in the back of the car with a log of shit sticking out like a Manx cat, with a fucking banana peanut butter sandwich in his pocket, that's 1976.
Hey, you got a 13-year-old sister maybe I can shack up with? Thank you.
The source that the joke even happened to begin with is Cliff, who's a known liar.
A known liar.
Why
and
is Cliff a known
finagler.
liar?
Because of the coat thing.
Coats.
He's swindled.
He's a swindler.
He's
right.
slick, man. Cliff was always
Cliff is
Oh,
slick.
yeah,
We all
Cliff
know
was a
that Cliff
slick
was
guy.
slick.
He was slick. Let me tell you a story. Once we were in Baton Rouge.
Well, all right, is that the end of this?
It can't be.
No,
It wasn't even the beginning.
We were in Honolulu during Blue Hawaii when Elvis, oh boy.
When old Mr. Honley tried molesting them Brady kids. Please, can we hear more?
A little more about Cliff?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Can't get enough of Cliff.
I am all in with these guys.
Man, he made the Ed Sullivan Show.
He did them all.
He was at all them. Yeah, Jim, I was doing a show at WMC. Elvis calls me. He said, GK, where's Cliff? I said, he's sitting right here with me in the control room, Elvis. He said, tell him to get out of Memphis International Airport. Got a ticket for him. Want him to come to sit in the audience here at the Ed Sullivan Show. And, man, Cliff went nuts. He was up there, man. He said the Ed Sullivan Show sitting right in the audience, you know.
That's amazing.
He's the best.
That's amazing.
No, it's not.
It's really not that amazing.
He was in the audience of the Ed Sullivan Show.
Ed Sullivan.
Amazing.
Hey,
It's
flow
not
up.
an amazing story.
He
I
obviously
That
knew
was nice.
Cliff and said, hey, man, I'm going to be on Ed Sullivan. I want you to be here.
want you there.
That's not amazing.
That's amazing.
It would have been amazing if he was on the Ed Sullivan Show.
Right.
Not in the crowd. It's not amazing.
But this is the caliber of stories that they're at because they.
This is exactly what you hear on the Elvis Channel. These type of stories.
Man.
They're so far removed from anything else.
Oh, yeah.
They realized like 6 weeks into the Elvis Channel, oh no,
Right.
we've run out of Elvis stories.
You want to keep going?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
No, that's I ever saw it.
He's
DJ.
very good, very good.
He was as good as some of those Hollywood guys, wasn't he?
Oh, they wasn't nothing.
Our guest is DJ Fontana. Ladies and gentlemen, a legendary drummer. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame,
Yes.
in Cleveland, Ohio. He was Elvis's original drummer and a terrific guy. And this is his wife, Karen, over here.
Pause.
They're all good friends of mine and Jim. This is
You know what original drummer means, right?
Oh, God. Pete Best kind of.
Right. Elvis was like, we got to get a new drummer.
Yeah.
That's what original drummer means.
Yeah, because you could just say the drummer, but you have to say original drummer.
That means there was a problem there, and they had to move on to a better drummer.
He's the drummer on the demos, and that's it.
I don't even know anything about Elvis, and I would assume that's why he didn't stay with Elvis. His drumming was lackluster.
Hey, Colonel, why don't you fire that drummer?
Right.
We need a new drummer there.
Sounds like we're about to hear about DJ Fontana, the original drummer's wife.
Yeah, now he's going to talk about the wife.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with Elvis?
Oh, no.
Well, because her husband was once drumming for Elvis, and the Colonel only gave him $18,000 and no Lincoln.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, and he could have
that's the guy that didn't get the Lincoln.
$2 million and a Lincoln and some cool blazers.
But did he get the coat?
I don't think he got one of
The
the
original
coats.
drummer didn't get the coat.
What?
Are you sure?
Cliff wasn't looking out for him. He slicked that Cliff.
Fucking Cliff.
Fucking Cliff doesn't take care of the original drummer
No.
with a free coat.
Bastard. Cliff, the Colonel, bunch of scumbags.
Well, you know, DJ never got gas. Why did DJ get gas, for Pete's sake? He said, get to the airport. I got a ticket for it. I want you to see in the audience. That's amazing.
That's amazing.
You mean there was chairs there and everything? Yes, sir.
Well, goddamn, that's stupendous. Amazing. Fantastic.
I wasn't sure this was going to work at our show, but
I love it.
But fuck it. We
can't
definitely
get
take
enough.
chances on this dumb radio show.
They are good with stringing one story right into another. Because you might just sit there and go like, all right, yeah, I'm going to listen until this story's done, and then I'll go about my business. But they never really end, and they never really begin.
Because there's no real punchlines to any of the stories.
And there's no filter.
So you're
of,
tricked.
Like, this story won't work.
Right.
I can't tell this story because it's not entertaining.
No.
All right,
They sound like comedians who aren't doing well on stage, and they just talk faster.
Yes.
Like, I just want to, hey, how many people here from out of town? Are you guys from out of town? Yeah, my friend Cliff one time, we broke down. All of a sudden, I'm like, I'm going out of Memphis. But seriously, the Colonel there broadcasting.
Any birthdays?
Yeah. Anybody here have a sports coat that you want to have a little joke about? Anybody here have a coat that...
Oh, shit. All right, what are we going to learn now?
One more, please. I got to have one more. I have
more.
All right.
We're starting to move into
The original
Elvis's
drummer's wife?
Yes.
Okay.
Big JR, my bodyguard back here. Yeah. Got me a bodyguard now.
Have you?
I don't know why I need a bodyguard, but that's
big
old.
enough.
That's Chicago JR. If you ever go to Chicago, he knows everybody in Chicago. This guy does, J.R. Bradman. He gets you out of trouble. He gets you in trouble and out of trouble, too. But he's cool, man. He's cool. He's a cool guy.
You have to get a card on him.
You know what he did for this guy right here? I can't tell you. I'll tell you off there. He did something really nice. When Jim had his heart attack, he did something extra, super nice for
You
Jim.
know about that. You were overseas when you got your heart trouble.
Yeah, I know about all.
What country were you in?
You know, Elvis sang a lot of songs about the heart.
We're not even hearing about Elvis anymore. We're hearing about GK's heart trouble.
Who is he?
GK, I read his bio.
Yeah.
George Klein is his name. He's been doing radio for nearly 50 years.
Oh, my God.
God bless him.
And first became aware of Elvis in school when he was 12 years old because they were classmates.
Whoa. Oh, wow. All right.
Wow.
He's got an in.
All right.
He was my best friend, George recalls.
Oh, I bet.
How many of them say that?
Right?
That's what I'm saying.
Who did I meet that was a good friend of Elvis? Dice knows him well. Me and Florentine met him. Jerry.
What are you telling it on this? Why don't you go find the Elvis channel and tell the fucking story,
Well, I
Jim?
do have an Elvis story.
They could do a half hour on this.
Fuck yeah.
I went to an event, and it was a bar mitzvah. And Jerry was there, and I didn't know him. So someone introduced me. They're like, Jim, this is Jerry. Jerry, this is Jim.
Jerry.
And you know me, I would never have my camera plugged in. And
you just tell everybody he always has the camera plugged in.
I asked my friend Jim to take a picture of me and Jerry, and Jerry Stiller was his name, I believe. Not Jerry Stiller, Jerry something else. And he took the picture. And that was, we shook hands. Y'all know about that.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
God,
I have no idea what that story was.
Jerry, he'd shake just about anybody's hand. Jerry, he's always shaking.
We all know that.
You know that about Jerry.
You know Jerry's like that.
Oh, Jerry.
You know Jerry.
Was good as far as that went.
And
Jerry Schilling, I think his name was.
Oh. How could they go this long without playing an Elvis song? And this is the content.
Where are we at now?
Yeah, where were we?
Well, we were just hearing about GK's bodyguard who knows everybody in Chicago.
Oh, they're talking about the heart attack.
Something with the heart attack, but he can't tell it on the air.
But then the other guy had his heart attack when he was overseas.
Yeah.
We're going to get back to the other guy's heart attack, and the nice thing that was done to him because he had a heart attack, I guess. Okay.
But he can't tell it on the air.
Oh, he said that?
Yeah.
Right. He said he did something nice.
But he can't say
we'll never know
what
it is.
But you can't do that.
Well, it's not Elvis related.
It might be.
That's why.
All right, let's go.
Belgium, I think.
In Belgium. Wow. You have any more problems with that, or is that all gone?
Well, no, it's been 10, 12 years ago, maybe longer.
Yeah.
But, no, I've been feeling fairly decent, you know.
Well, what are you doing in Memphis today? Yeah.
I just come down to see you guys.
Well,
man.
bless your heart.
Yes.
Man, you're welcome, D. You look good. Karen looks good. And now, D, you told me not to mention on the air, so I'm not going to mention your drums anymore.
No.
Uh-oh.
I know you got them hid, stored away. Want nobody to know where you got them. But hold on to them, okay?
I will, George.
Because I'm going to tell you something. A guy in Memphis named Larry Moss, he has Scotty's first guitar. And Scotty confirmed it. Scotty was on camera with me talking about it. Had the guitar on my TV show. And then he walks in with Elvis's first guitar.
Wow.
That little K guitar that Gladys, his mama, bought him from that hardware store in Tupelo.
Tupelo, yeah.
He had it. The real guitar. Elvis's first guitar. And that's like having Tchaikovsky's first violin or something, man. You know? Or Bill Liberace's first piano. I don't know.
Name more people.
He had And so we took the two guitars. Scotty's
first
guitar,
fucking
Elvis's
piano
guitar,
stool
and
upside
Scotty
down.
stood between them and took a picture.
That was great.
And would you believe I offered it to Rolling Stone? They didn't call me back. The two guitars, Karen and DJ and JR, the two guitars that originated rock and roll. When they did That's All Right Mama. Because Scotty played a lick, he told me, DJ, and when Elvis went into That's All Right Mama, he didn't know the song. And Bill Black didn't know the song. So Scotty started ad-libbing. But what he did, DJ, he did a great thing. He combined country music with blues.
What?
That became rock and roll. And Scotty and DJ was playing, and the two guitars that originated.
Now, do they go into the song? That would be like what you would do, right?
Of course.
Let's all rock, mama. Those were the first two guitars.
Let's all rock, mama.
Rock and roll.
Let's all rock.
I call what's his name? He owns Rolling Stone magazine. Sean Werner. Jan Werner. Because I met him when I was up in New York when Elvis went to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I said, look, I got this picture. Look great on the cover of your paper, especially with Elvis Week coming up. He didn't even call me back, man.
Golly.
I called Guitar Magazine.
Golly. He didn't even call me back, man.
Yeah, I had a
that guy's the biggest scumbag than the Colonel.
Golly.
Yeah, he had Liberace's original piano seat. It's a coat rack.
Oh, my God.
This is fucking... He just told the story of the time he didn't talk to the guy who runs Rolling Stone magazine.
Right.
Well, yeah, you got to say that.
Yeah.
And it was a good story because the other guy said golly, so...
Golly.
They're doing something right.
Golly, man.
Yeah. All right. Are we done?
I
kind of want to get to the end of this.
Yeah, I want to see how they go into a song.
Yeah.
When do they go into a song? Do they go into a song?
Try a little more. We might be going too far now with this shit.
Skip to our magazine. They should have. They the one that should have went for it. They didn't call me back.
Oh.
I have a rule, DJ Fontana. I will call people 3 times. They don't call me back, I don't call them anymore.
Oh, never call them.
And you know what I say to them? Wow. I'll see a dude and I call him 3 times. I maybe see him a year later. And I say, man, did you ever get that phone fixed? He said, what you talking about? I said, I called you 3 times. You never called me back, man. Oh, shit. Man, I was out of town. Oh, man, yeah, they had a million excuses. It takes 2 minutes to return a phone.
Wait a minute, hold on. He just downgraded his excuses by 999,000.
I heard. He said he had 1 million excuses. Right. And the other guy comes back with 1,000 excuses.
He sliced his excuses by 1,000th of what they should have been. He gave him.
That's crazy, man.
1 million excuses. I'll give you 1,000.
I bet you can't come up with 5.
No. And that was terrible. You're getting that phone fixed. What do you mean, man?
What do you mean, man?
I'm trying to call you.
That was worth telling on the radio. What do you mean, man?
They will tell any story.
That's my point.
They will just tell any story.
That's my point. Exactly. What do we do now?
Who knew this was...
You want to play?
I want to find out how they go into a song and when do they go into a song. It's Elvis Radio. He's a singer.
All right. Let's go.
It's crazy.
I talk too much, DJ.
No, you don't.
DJ Fontana, man, Karen, he brings about so many wonderful memories out there in Seattle, Washington.
Like this one.
Tacoma, Washington. And Karen, we're standing there with me and DJ. Colonel Parker walks up. And I said, Colonel, we're playing outside. What happens if it rains?
Another story?
DJ said, yeah, Colonel, what happens if it rains? He said, we don't have any problem. I said, what do you mean? He said, we got a contract that we're able to sell the raincoats.
And he probably did.
Yeah. That's Colonel Parker for you. He was a trip, man. What did DJ?
Yeah, he's a character.
But he never gave you guys any trouble.
DJ doesn't talk.
No.
Stick around.
He hasn't told one interesting story.
But you guys were smart. Y'all went over to the Knickerbocker Hotel.
That's right.
We stayed at the
I'll tell you why DJ's coupons. Here's why DJ's got nothing. I think DJ's the one who was with Elvis when he broke down. So DJ really knew Elvis. So this is like listening to people tell Patrice stories about, yeah, my friend worked in a club one time, Patrice, he ordered Diet Coke, but there wasn't no ice.
Right.
We would have nothing to chime in with that.
Nothing.
Because we know the real story. This guy, DJ, probably saw Elvis get his dick sucked.
Yeah, He's got some good stories.
Oh, he could probably tell you when I said, Elvis, if you're going to fuck her in the ass, you don't put it in her mouth after.
Oh, man.
And Elvis cracked her head up with the guitar. You know how Elvis was.
Now that's amazing.
You know how Elvis was.
Yeah, Elvis took a fried banana peanut butter sandwich and mushed it in her face and said, I ain't signing shit, you fat bitch. DJ knows the real stories, but he can't tell them, so he's got to listen to these fucking inane babble. He'll just chime in. Yeah,
Elvis, man.
There's a lot of hearsay on this channel.
A lot of hearsay. Yes. A lot of inadmissible evidence.
DJ is the guy you want to talk to after he has a few belts.
But GK wants to be the expert, so he's not even asking DJ questions. He's just like, DJ, you sit there and listen to some of my great...
You know how he was, DJ, because one time we was there at the Knickerbocker Hotel.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that's what he does. He just kind of...
Because the Colonel, he didn't like no raincoats. Yeah, I know how the Colonel was. And then DJ wants to chime in. I sure do. I once watched him burn an infant alive for $1.50. There was a baby, and someone said, I'll give you $1.50 to burn that baby alive. And he did it, and Elvis laughed.
He had a good laugh, didn't he? Oh, yes, he laughed. Oh, God.
DJ has the real stories.
Oh, he's got great stories.
Get DJ drunk and get him on this fucking channel.
Oh, man.
All right, push play.
All right.
I think we're back in. Knickerbocker.
What's that hotel in Beverly Hills? Beverly Wilshire.
Yes.
We stayed there. All the stars
we
stayed
didn't
there.
go there.
Yeah, you never went over there, did you?
No, we knew better.
I know why you didn't come over there. I finally got Scotty and Bill to tell me. DJ wouldn't tell me, Karen. I can't ban what to do.
He didn't know any better.
He left you alone, huh?
Well,
I love it. He didn't know any better.
He didn't know any better. He didn't know. He didn't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, outside of our studio, they're watching this broadcast. This is the original rock and roll drummer from Elvis's group. DJ was Elvis's first drummer. Was with him. Remember, he's the '68 special where he's in that little square circle with a leather suit.
Yeah.
That's DJ up there on stage playing with him.
Wow, that's right.
And also DJ, he originated that great lick. Give me that lick from Jailhouse Rock, Jim. He originated. This is DJ.
You got it on tape.
Yeah, we got on. They didn't pass tape, man. They got on something else now. This is DJ originating that blick.
He's just hitting the snare.
Yeah.
All right, now, also
Yeah, the
that's
guitar
not
is
the
probably
only
the star of that
originated
moment.
Yeah.
That's the
He's
guitar.
He originated that. Wow, that's
originated that.
fucking
Yeah, he
John Bonham.
And you could have been the guy.
And why is DJ perplexed that at the Elvis Radio channel they have a recording of Jailhouse Rock?
Yeah. You got that one, E-Rock? Where is that? He's got his own version of E-Rock. Play that one. And you just hear from the control room, oh, shit.
Well, crap.
Well, crap.
Oh, my
Remember
God.
that time we asked E-Rock to find that clip and he did? No.
Oh, he's always doing that.
Oh, you know that E-Rock. You know E-Rock, right? Yeah.
If it wasn't Bikini Girls, it was fan fiction. Always doing something, getting things signed for charity.
Is he filling his mouth?
Remember that time we was talking about E-Rock's movie? It's a long movie. Let me tell you about this. It's a long movie. It's about 5 decades long, but it's only going to be 90 minutes.
He was the original hoodie footage salesman who E-Rock scammed out of some hoodie footage for charity.
You think they would have brought up the charity?
Everything.
He got, my son, he get things signed. Said he's going to sell it for Katrina victims, and they said, why are we signing it to E-Rock?
Oh, you know E-Rock, right? You know him.
He said it'd make it more valuable. You know how he would.
Oh, yeah. E-Rock was hanging out over there with the Colonel. Sanders. Colonel Sanders. Because he liked the KFC.
Yeah, and he said, give me a bucket. That's the whole story. Ate through it.
Well, now they're going to break down Jailhouse Rock. And the part.
That was the drummer. That's this man.
He came up with that lick.
Came up with that lick.
Maybe the least impressive drumming on any Elvis song.
Absolutely.
It's the guitar that makes that. That's the guy I want to talk to. Yeah, exactly. Here's the fiddle player. You can't hear him, but
I think that's the first noise a kid makes.
There wasn't even anything. Not even a little.
Right. All right, go back to
gentlemen. But DJ Fontana, this guy right here. I said, DJ, what's that stand for? He said, Don Juan. Yeah, I know it, Don Joseph. I finally found out, Karen. But he originated also the rock and roll lick in Hound Dog. Give me that lick from Hound Dog, Jim. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hit it, D. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I got a live version, of course.
No, I don't want the live version.
E-Rock.
Oh, they got their own E-Rock.
Oh, man. They got an E-Rock live version.
All the E-Rock should get together.
Were you listening?
Right.
Yeah, what you doing in there, boy?
Yeah.
Sal needed help with the phones, and I was over by the phones, and I didn't understand.
Yeah, what you doing in there, boy? You ain't doing your work.
Because they pull you in, they don't end, so you just keep listening.
This is like one of those TV marathons that you fall asleep and you sleep the whole night and you turn your TV on and it's still
going.
It just doesn't end.
It didn't matter that you missed, a big chunk.
They're gathering quarter hours, though, man. Quarter hour listening.
Oh, yeah.
Some nice TSL.
Oh, yeah.
For the boys at the Elvis channel.
Ding, ding, ding.
We got to continue.
I got to hear a little more.
To.
I do. I'm sorry.
No, Angela, stupid me being a disc jockey. I should have known. Hound Dog was actually a woman's song. Big Mama Willa Mae Thornton recorded the song. It was about a guy that was coming around hassling her. And Elvis just did the song, but people didn't realize. I didn't realize it. Did you?
No.
You didn't?
I know why. I didn't.
No.
He didn't.
But Freddie Bell and Bell Boys was doing a song in Vegas, weren't they?
They were doing that same song, exact arrangement, actually.
Oh.
And didn't you guys go down and watch them sometime?
Every night.
What happened in RCA?
Well, they
New York?
ripped off somebody.
They ripped off some
just
nobody?
admitted to ripping off some same arrangement.
He just admitted that he stole the whole arrangement.
Yeah, we saw that.
So in the end, you got these assholes still living, basically saying Elvis ripped off people and it was no big deal.
Yeah, we've seen some Negro doing it.
Right.
So that amazing. Well, I stole it. I found it.
I stole it.
Some guy was.
He did an exact arrangement. We lifted it note for note.
Why would you just say that?
Why would you admit to that?
And GK and his great instincts. Let's
Keep
move
the
on from that. Let's
illusion
move on
Yeah,
from that.
hey, oh shit.
Keep the illusion going.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's do Hound Dog.
We knew it.
You already knew it?
Yeah, we had been doing it every night, watching Freddie Bell and those guys. I said, he said, can you guys do this? We said, yeah, man, we know it by now, you know.
Yeah. So he said play just like they did.
Just like the record.
Wow.
I mean, just like Freddie Bell.
Play it just
Mike
like...
Stoller and Jerry Lieber wrote that.
Yeah.
And they told me they wrote it for her because she was a chick singer,
Yeah.
obviously, and Big Mama Willa Mae Thornton. And she says, you know, if you listen close, he's talking about a guy coming around.
I had never listened to it that close.
Bell and the Bell Boys version.
It's Freddie Bell.
Yes, they said you were high class. That was just a lie.
I want to hear the drum.
You never caught a rabbit, so you ain't no friend of mine.
That's Freddie Bell. Wasn't that great a singer, but they had a lick going. They had a groove going.
They really did.
Yeah. DJ now, this is DJ Fontana, in case you just joined us. DJ Fontana was Elvis's original drummer, played on all those early great songs, was in all those movies. He was in Loving You, and he was in King Creole. He's DJ Fontana. He was in all those wonderful movies, especially Jailhouse Rock. And D is just dropped in. He and his wife, Karen. It's a pleasure to see him because every time we call, beautiful Karen answers the phone. And DJ has never refused to interview, has he?
Not one single time.
And I don't answer the phone.
He's still rocking, though. I mean, he goes out on the road and plays just almost every weekend.
Yeah. When Elvis was in the Army, you took a gig once for a minute with Gene Vincent. How was it playing with him?
Oh, Gene was here.
Oh, my gosh. All right, I'm tapping.
Yeah.
I'm tapping. Because now he's talking about when Elvis was in the Army and he had to literally play with somebody else.
Play with Gene Vincent.
Yeah. How was that playing with Gene Vincent?
Until Elvis came back to the States, I guess.
That's for now he's got to run over to the Gene Vincent channel and do an interview there.
Oh, my God. We never got to the end.
No.
I hate when we don't get to the end.
We can't.
Do they play music? Do you hear music when you're driving?
I don't even know.
I heard that remix of Blue Suede Shoes. Did you find that, E-Rock?
Yeah, it kind of sounds like Grease.
Grease? Yeah. What are you talking about?
I hear it.
Oh, God, yeah, good call.
But I don't think this is what...
Because I need a man. How many different versions of the same songs did he do?
This is good, though.
This is. I didn't hear this version. There's no other versions in there?
The live versions of it sound similar to this.
No, it was a lot more drums, and then they start scratching like a mother.
Yeah,
doing some true boogie scratching.
This don't sound like scratching.
I don't think they're going to be scratching.
No.
I love the live versions of Elvis songs, like when he would do, what was the one he closed with every time?
My Way?
I can't help falling in love.
Oh.
But he wouldn't do that version.
No?
He would do the, how would he do it? He would just do it faster and like kind of rushing. I forget how he would do it. He find a live version of him closing with that song. It was so good.
Take my hand, in all I do. I can't help falling in love with
more
you.
like it was just. And like the purists hated it because I think they wanted the fucking.
You want the slow version?
Of course.
I can't. Oh, you go. I can't help. I can't do it. I can't do Elvis.
Oh man,
You know who has a great Elvis story? I won't tell it, but I wish it was on tape.
Who?
Sarah Silverman.
What?
Did
she fuck him?
No, she has a really good Elvis story.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What is it?
I can't tell it.
Oh.
You can't do that.
It's a tease.
No, well, you know how. You know how
fucking DJ.
The Colonel is.
The Colonel would appreciate it.
Yeah. You know how he would.
I want to hear that Blue Suede Shoes scratching song. Maybe we'll find it for later. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wise men say
This one?
I think so.
only fools rush in.
Only fools rush in.
Yeah.
I can't help.
I would be pissed if he did this version.
I love this.
Whoa! Don't rush it.
Putting anything into it.
No.
Oh, he's got chicks to bang. Yeah.
Now, here's that backup singer there. Listen to that. That's amazing.
We're going to be talking to them next week for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, Amanda B. I think we got to hear about Gene Vincent. I just feel like we need to hear about Gene Vincent. Let's go back for a second.
Sure.
Yeah.
But he was a nice guy.
Did he ask you a lot of questions about Elvis?
No. He was worried about his career at that time.
Yeah.
You know.
Gene Vincent and the Blue Caps.
Right.
He had like a bad leg or something, didn't he?
Yeah. I don't know what was wrong with it, but he did have a bad leg.
Yeah. This guy doesn't know anything.
So,
nothing.
DJ Fontana.
He doesn't ask any questions. You're hanging out with a guy with a bad leg. Wouldn't you ask around, like, why does he have a bad leg?
Did it smell? Was it rotting?
I don't know why.
I don't know why. You didn't ask one person what's up with his bad leg?
Exactly.
Jesus.
He knew how to keep his mouth shut.
Right. That's why Elvis kept him around. And people are suggesting that Clint was flown to the Ed Sullivan audience because maybe he was, Elvis's drug dealer.
Oh. Yeah. Wow. Delivery for the king.
Yeah, that was the code word. Tell him to get up here and bring me some peanut butter sandwiches.
Yeah.
Tell him I need some peanut butter and bananas. That means uppers and downers.
Let's find out about Gene Vincent's bad leg.
All right.
Another story that's going to go nowhere.
I actually know what happened to Gene Vincent's bad leg, and I don't know. Let's see if they tell the story.
Oh. All right.
Ricky Nelson, any?
No, I knew Ricky real well.
Nice guy.
Still about 3 nights a week.
At the Knickerbocker.
What?
Hang around.
Wow.
Who's Bucker?
But I was trying to figure out who else you played with while Elvis was in the Army. I guess Gene Vincent was the only
He
one.
was about the biggest one, yeah.
Yeah. He had a couple of hit records.
Oh, he had a couple, yeah.
Was it a scary time for you when Elvis was in the Army and you were having to go on your own?
No.
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 You know, I don't want to interrupt GK, but I got breaking news.
You do?
Denny has an Elvis story.
Wow. Does he really?
Wow. I'm being told that he was
I think we
telling the story to Travis, and Travis was falling asleep in the office.
Oh. Could we try to just do Elvis until 10 o'clock today?
No breaks. Just like this show. Just one bleeds into another.
Well, while Denny walks down the hall with his Elvis story, we need his Elvis story. Can we continue with this nonsense that we started?
Yes.
Good job.
Were you still living in Shreveport at the time?
Still there, yeah.
And let me see. Bill Black was still alive, though, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Because he had the Blue-Black combo. See, that's another thing, ladies and gentlemen. See, it's like Scotty said when he was here last week. He said, GK answers the question, he already knows the answer.
Yeah.
Because, Scotty, he can't hear too good in one of his ears.
One of the ears, yeah.
And so Gail would say, and she would tell
a bunch of falling apart motherfuckers.
Right. And he said, well, he don't have to. He knows the answer to the question already.
Got a bad leg, bad heart, he can't hear. His fucking hair's falling out.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Toenail fungus.
Oh, he's about to say, I have no idea.
Again. He's got no idea.
And this guy, DJ, offers no additional information.
No.
He just answers the question. So you used to go down there, didn't you? Yeah.
Well,
There's
maybe.
no follow-up.
Sometimes. Denny.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Oh, where's his mic? There it is.
Now we have a hot mic.
Hot mic.
Well, Denny, very exciting.
Yes, we didn't realize we had a connection to Elvis Presley.
Well, what we used to do
Yes.
At the stations I used to
I wish
work
you
at.
had one to Leonard Skinnerd.
At the oldie stations, whenever you do, it's the Motown weekend. It's the Superstars of Soul weekend.
Oh, sure.
You always wanted to have some audio, some different
Audio.
clips, because you always played the same song, so you just packaged them on the weekend and sold
Sure.
them. So what we would do is just take people who worked at the station, sales guys, and have them do a character voice and record them outside. Studio engineer, Barney Sticks McGee remembers working with the Supremes. I remember 1965 when the Supremes came in, and you'd filter it and do a voice. I remember when Diana would come in, and she's very nice and bought me coffee. But we'd say nothing. About the charts or, the songwriters.
Was it a joke or a lie?
It was just... It was fabrication. It was fabrication.
Oh, it's called fabrication.
Yes.
Fabrication.
And, one of the one of the Motown musicians recalls working with Marvin Gaye. I remember Marvin Gaye was a nice man. and he would bring me lunch, and that would be the cut.
But it never happened.
Exactly.
Oh, and it was all phony voices.
That's not theater of the mind. That's shit.
You were fabricating.
You were lying to the audience.
You'd go outside with a cassette and record it in the hallway or something, just to get some different audio,
some ambient.
People
sound.
are suggesting that you should replace your real voice with that voice.
Just that,
yes. Your voice is so awful.
And maybe then you'll get a full-time shift.
Yes.
Sam, is that you sending that tweet?
No, it was me. Yeah,
that story brought out rage in me. The radio guys have been doing that to the public for years.
Oh, yeah,
it's theater of the mind.
I know, I understand that, but that's
mindless.
They don't take
when you think you're being told the truth and it's a blatant lie.
Yes.
It's a lie.
Radio guys have been lying forever, man.
Like somebody heard that and went and told their office mate, you know, oh yeah, I heard a guy who got Marvin Gaye a sandwich, and they were wrong. They were lied to.
Right.
Yeah.
It might have happened.
I was backstage and I seen the Pips walk by with the Gladys Knight, and they actually waved to me. They're very nice gentlemen.
Exactly.
That would be it.
Exactly. You know, right into Heard Through the Grapevine.
What about the Elvis story?
What's that?
I thought you had an Elvis story.
We heard you had an Elvis story.
Well, I had stories similar to that. I remember the Elvis story that I always remember when he was supposed to play in 1977 when I was driving home.
At Westbury Music Fair, I believe.
The Coliseum, I think.
Oh, well, somewhere.
I think you could do a bit bigger than a 3,000-seat arena.
I think he was playing at Westbury. I think my aunt had tickets to see him at Westbury Music Fair.
And I remember there was a station in New York that Pat St. John worked at, WPLJ, when they were still a rock station. All of a sudden in the afternoon, they were playing Elvis.
Uh-oh.
And you knew something was up because they were breaking format. They
Oh,
boy. Breaking the format.
So you said, why? You know, why? Because they were New York's best rock in
Was
stereo.
it Flush the Format? Did they do Flush the Format that day?
No, that was Scott Shannon's thing.
Scott Shannon. Flush the Format.
You got crazy.
I got a tree on my house.
I got a tree on my house.
I got a tree on my house.
I got Botox on my face. Whoa. I got a putty nose.
Putty nose.
Fucking
I
rock
got
monster.
a tree. I got a wig on my head.
Now, when you went away to
I got a slur in my voice.
Now, when you went away to Las Vegas, did you bring back any air checks of Vegas radio?
No. Why would I do that?
Oh, we used to do that. I'm sure E-Rock would probably used to do that too. And used to go on vacation years ago. You would make air checks. You'd go to the hotel room and record some of the local radio stations and bring it back to the radio station you worked at.
Oh my
God! Oh yeah.
I would literally be less weirded out if you said we would collect local samples of shit and bring them back in an envelope in our carry-on.
No, the air checks would be great.
Oh, then you trade those air checks, right?
You trade them on American air checks.
For what?
Yeah. What, you trade other air checks.
Other air checks.
Hey, I got 2 Honolulu fucking traffic reports. What do you give me for that? It's a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Yeah, I remember going to Hawaii and recording Hawaii radio stations. Yeah, you could do stuff like that.
But what you get when you recorded a Hawaiian fucking radio station, that was different.
The different jingles, the things the jock said, and some of the events. And
different jingles.
Yeah, it was all
Can you bring in a jingles package that you really appreciate?
Oh, yeah, I got boxes of them.
Do you got one
He's
down
got boxes of jingles.
Do you got one down the hall?
I could probably have one on the hard drive of jingles.
Hard drive of
I want
jingles.
you, after the break, to come in with a jingles package that you like so much that you had to keep.
Well, you could probably pick this one up online, E-Rock, the package that WPIX-FM used back in the 1970s. What the heck was that package called? It was, I have it on the hard drive.
All right, go get it for after the break.
I'll go.
Please, thank you. All right, Danny, you're terrific.
Thank you. Let's clip this mic here. We don't want to get feedback.
I want to find out
about.
I want to find out about Gene Vincent's bad leg.
They would lie about fucking those stories up?
Yes.
Of course. All that shit.
For what?
And then you produce it to sound like it was old audio, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
There was one time I was with Elvis Presley. Well, I wasn't Elvis Presley. I was with the guy that cooked for Elvis one night at the Knickerbocker Hotel. And what I said
that made me fucking physically ill. I've been long having a hatred of radio guys because they're just fake.
I have no respect for radio.
No.
I don't know why I ever got into this.
No, but I mean, I
no respect. None.
Because I don't like
none.
the fakeness of it. They're all fake.
Yes.
A handful of guys, that's it. The rest of them, goodbye.
Hacks. Fucking thieves.
It is show business, though.
Yeah,
you know, you gotta give him a little leeway as far as the show aspect of
I remember Gladys Knight, and she'd cook for me. How is that show business? It's just lying to people.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's push play on this.
Oh.
You forgot.
You were going to say that it is an honor and a pleasure to have DJ
That's
here
not what I was
on
gonna
Elvis Week. And all these fans are so excited. They're outside the studio staring in at GK, talking to the legendary drummer DJ Fontana.
That guy who was on television late at night, he was a good friend of yours, that real great drummer.
Oh, Max Weinberg.
Is he still with Conan O'Brien?
No, he's with, him and Conan had
Is he okay?
fallen out about
Oh,
something.
they did? Who's he with now?
Bruce Springsteen.
I know they had
Bruce
a falling out.
Springsteen.
No, he's been with Bruce.
Yeah,
Really?
he was always Bruce's drummer.
Wait, the guy doesn't even know
How
that.
good a
Doesn't
friend
even know.
How good of friends could you have been?
No, it's the other guy. The one that should have the knowledge doesn't know that.
That is
Right. Bruce's
great.
drummer. And then he did a little side thing with Conan. All
I
those years.
believe, Conan's drummer moved on
To Bruce Springsteen.
to Bruce Springsteen, which is amazing. That's fantastic.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's where he came from, yeah.
Man, what was his name again?
Max Weinberg.
Great drummer.
Oh,
man.
he is.
He liked you a whole lot, didn't he?
Yeah, him and I got on good,
Yeah.
really good.
Max Weinberg, Bruce Springsteen.
With the E Street Band.
Yeah. You know, Bruce Springsteen, DJ Fontana. We're live, ladies and gentlemen, at Memphis, Tennessee's Graceland, Sirius XM, George Klein. It's Elvis Radio, and this is the day that Elvis passed away.
Right, yeah.
August 16th.
Where were you that day?
1977. Where were you, DJ? Where were you? Remember what you were doing?
I'm trying to think. Yeah.
What?
I was in Nashville recording.
What we were doing is there was a colored family that moved in to the neighborhood. We were trying to lure them out of the house with barking German shepherds. And we were trying to get them out in the neighborhood. So
This guy doesn't pay attention
we
to
was on
anything.
horseback
Where
and
was
yelling,
you?
"Go home!"
How do you, after all these years, don't know where you were when Elvis died? I had no connection to Elvis Presley. I remember exactly the moment I
know,
heard.
yeah.
And I was just a small kid.
He was with Elvis for 14 years, 54 to 68.
I do recall because I think about it every time I smell the smell of gasoline because I had to soak down the cross we was going to burn on the lawn of the Negro family.
Yeah, we would yell things like, "Boy, get out of here!"
Ow.
Let me. All right, we got to at least find out where the guy was when Elvis died.
Of course we do.
He doesn't even know.
Of course we do.
Son, Shelby Singleton.
Shelby Singleton.
Who was singing?
I don't remember now.
Did you get paid?
Was that
He doesn't
a guy
remember
Ryan? Was that his
anything.
name?
I've done some stuff with Orion. I've done some stuff with different ones.
Wow. I had no
But
idea.
how did you get the news that Elvis had passed away?
Yeah.
Shelby stopped the session. He said, "Hey, DJ, we just heard that Elvis passed away." I said, "No, they've been talking about that for 5 years." I said, "He's okay. Don't worry about it."
Oh.
He said, "You want to go home now?" It was about 30 minutes before quitting time. I said, "No, I'll just wait and get home."
Oh, he didn't
I
believe it.
got home. I couldn't find nobody. I couldn't find Joe. I couldn't find George. I couldn't find you. I couldn't find nobody.
Right.
Everybody's headed this way.
To Graceland, right?
Yeah. And so that's how that happened. And
Did you come down here for the funeral?
yeah.
Yeah, DJ came, but you had to have a funny feeling at that time, DJ.
I always have funny feelings.
Yeah, but I'm serious. I mean, he with him passing away, it's hard to believe, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
And I remember.
Yeah, really
what
difficult to
happened with
believe
me.
that a guy who was grossly overweight, who did barbiturates and performed and fucking did no exercise, died. What a shock.
He was sweating like he ran a marathon singing My Way. And you're surprised.
Yeah, it was shocking that he died. A man who ate fried banana on peanut butter sandwiches every night and did 40 to 50 pills.
Barbiturates.
Yeah, did barbiturates and uppers and downers. I couldn't believe that he passed.
But you had a funny feeling, did you?
I had a funny feeling. I always had a funny feeling. Now, we're being serious.
I want to know about the funny feeling.
Oh, boy.
I was still working in radio and TV in Memphis, and I was at the theme park consulting for this little theme park like Six Flags in Memphis called Liberty Land. And the PA system said, "Mr. Klein, first line one, please." Said the push button. Back in the day, push the button. I push the button. This morning jock at HBQ's GK, we got United Press ran a bulletin that Elvis has passed away. Same thing you said. Oh, man, You know, 2 weeks ago he was in the hospital. You know, that room runs all the time. He said, would you please check it out? I said, sure. And then I hung up and the lady said, Mr. Klein, line 2, line 3, and line 4. At that point, I knew something was wrong.
Wow, yeah.
So I called Graceland. And Mr. Presley, at that time, Burnham was dating a lady named Sandy. And I said, Sandy, George Klein. She said, yeah. I said, is it true? She said, yeah. You need to get out here as fast as you can. And, man, DJ, I felt like somebody had taken a hot knife and just rammed it through me.
Yeah.
Man, I'd never had a feeling like that in my life. Elvis he couldn't pass away. You know, so I jumped in my car, and I drove about 100 miles an hour. I don't drive, but I was driving 100 miles an hour. It's on video. I swing in the gates of Graceland. They saw me coming, parked behind the house, ran in the den off the kitchen. Mr. Preston went over and grabbed me. George, I've lost my son. You've lost your best friend. We lost him, George. We lost him, GK. He was crying, hugging me. And everybody in the room, Patsy was crying, his cousin, and everybody, all the maids, everybody was crying. And it was saddest scene I've ever seen in my life, DJ. And I started crying. And then about that time, Dr. Nick walked in. And he said, you gather around, folks. And we gathered around. He said, I hate to inform you, but at the middle of the afternoon, this afternoon, around 2:30 or so, he said, Elvis passed away. Man, everybody started crying again, you know.
That's terrific.
Man, it was tough.
Now go home and get your fucking
It was like
shine
a member
box.
of your family passing away, wasn't it?
Just about.
Yeah. Like a good brother, you know. Yeah. Did you have any brothers, DJ?
God.
Who gives a fuck?
All right, we can't.
Oh, my God.
We can't.
That was actually a good story about Vern hugging him. That was actually the good story.
Right. You got some real emotion there. And
That could have been the whole break right
actual
there.
story, right.
All right, the anniversary of his death, this is what I remember.
Yeah.
Bam, go into a song.
Right.
We listened for an hour to get there.
Did you ever hear the speech Vern gives after the live Elvis airing? It was very, very brief. It was at the end of, I think it was they aired at Elvis's last concert, and Vern talks at the end to the CBS audience and thanks everybody for the letters. And
oh, really?
We're going to write you back. Well, you know, they
And their
couldn't.
kindness.
Yeah.
Do we have that here? Like, it's very short.
Uh-oh, you rock.
Oh, boy.
Vern, you bring out Vern Troyer.
Vern
Yeah.
Troyer.
He's Elvis's father at the end of the live album.
This may be the remix that Opie was looking for.
Really?
I'm being informed that it may be.
Just like preview and see if you hear scratches. Okay. There's some definite scratching going on.
Yeah.
The
Oh, look at that. Elvis dancing.
Oh, my God.
What's that one called? Was that from Roustabout? Or was that Blue Vesves shoe?
Certainly didn't mean that to be over an hour.
Fishes, Jim?
Yeah, they are.
Anthony.
All right.
That was supposed to be 5 minutes.
I know, but, you know.
You get kind of like...
It's Elvis. They dedicate a whole channel to him.
Yes.
I'm hearing a little scratching.
Okay, cool. I want to play this going into break. Are we done with this guy?
We are done.
You sure? You don't want to hear about his brother?
No, I don't want to hear about his fucking brother.
You sure?
I've had it with this guy.
We have brothers.
I know, but shit.
I enjoy a good brother story.
Oh,
Are you sure? Relatable.
Yeah, you want to hear a little bit about his brother?
I swear, if you guys weren't here, I would do this at 10 o'clock to annoy everyone. You don't want to hear about the brother, huh?
Yeah, I'm not really interested.
Okay. All right, well,
oh my God.
We'll play this going into break. A little remix of Blue Suede Shoes. When we get back, we're going to talk about a hand.
Oh.
And it happened right outside this fucking building yesterday. Holy shit.
A hand?
I think it's a foot.
I mean, a foot.
A foot.
A foot. Oh, my God. Yes, of course.
Yes.
Wrong body part. A foot. And Dr. Oz getting involved.
Oh.
Dr. Oz, a foot.
It's crazy.
All outside this building yesterday, right after our show, pretty much.
I missed the,
All right.
I took a photo of the cab, though.
Oh, you saw the aftermath, kind of?
Oh, yeah, I got a picture of the cab all propped up on the thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
One of 10,000 people who took the same photo.
Exactly.
All right. But first, this. I did not have a relationship with Elvis, but might have had some kind of like they saw him walking by them on the sidewalk one day. And then they do
exciting.
And then they do a 15-minute story on. Well, tell your story. And this guy, I guess, was stationed in Germany.
Oh, during
when
the
Elvis
Army,
was there, and then And then the guy goes, well, I think it was after it was on Ed Sullivan. And then his wife pipes in and goes, well, actually, Elvis was on Steve Allen before he was on Ed Sullivan.
That's the kind of content on the Elvis channel?
And then there was this common area where you could get pots and pans for wherever the fuck you live in Germany when you're in the army. And Elvis was very curious to know if people were still digging him and his music back in the States.
And people were supposed to listen to this and like it?
And then the story had no ending. I don't even know what the purpose of the story was. He had nothing.
But he had a brush with Elvis.
I don't know. I guess he might have walked by to get a fucking frying pan or something.
That sounds terrible.
It was horrendous. I'm like, what am I listening to?
It should be called Anything Elvis. Right. Remotely Elvis.
I mean, how many times can they play Hound Dog? I guess.
But they get excited. They're like, oh, God, tell your story. Please tell your story. And then the story is no story.
Through your tears.
Right. I think we got to get Elvis stories one day. It could be a great bit.
Who has an Elvis story?
Could you find that phone call? It was right before, what time we at? Fuck, I don't know. Fucking, maybe around, it was just before 5 a.m. Is there any way you can find this guy talking about Elvis just before 5 a.m.?
I don't have access to the Elvis.
Why don't we have access?
They don't let you have access to channels that aren't yours.
I need access to all the channels.
Why?
Make a mixtape.
Why?
I can find music, but I can't find.
We all work for the same company, right?
I heard.
So if you're talking about the company, then you go, I heard this thing. I want to.
Let me show you a little. Yeah. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be good?
You'd think.
I mean, we're going to beat the shit out of it, but then it might turn people onto the fact that there's an Elvis channel on Sirius XM.
They don't want you pilfering. Like any company has merchandise that you could pilfer, whether it's paper clips or music.
You're going to pilfer their content on the Elvis channel to throw up this?
Yeah, you're going to make a fucking bootleg tape of some guy from Germany talking about Elvis.
Oh, my God. It was
very protective.
But then I was trying to do the math, and I think the guy's like 102 or something.
Wow.
No, I don't know.
He's got to be old.
It was 59. 59. Elvis was in Germany, 41, 54 years ago. This guy's telling a story about how fucking Elvis walked in and got a pot or something to boil water. I don't know what happened, and now we can't even play the fucking thing. Come on, E-Rock. I was telling Anthony that it really sucked this morning because I couldn't get into a music groove.
Well, the music groove, very important for the long drive.
The music breaks, we're doing more than usual because I'm being a company guy and I'm listening to Sirius XM satellite radio. This service is amazing.
Oh, isn't it?
Oh, my God, it's terrific. And
so much.
And I couldn't get into a fucking groove. I went to the Grateful Dead channel, which we discussed ad nauseum yesterday.
Yes.
And I was with you. They were plinking and plowing and feedbacking, and I don't know what the fuck I was listening to.
Not an iota of rhythm to the song, or
because all kidding aside, I don't mind a good jam song if they get into a kind of a groove and you can almost bounce to it. I like that.
Yeah.
This was just pling, pling.
How annoying.
4:15 in the morning. This is what I'm hearing. And then
they're really,
and then
you can't do that at that hour driving.
Gling, 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 gling.
Why? How?
I was just thinking about you again. I'm like, Anthony would hate this.
Oh, I'd be livid.
I hate it too. And then I moved down to the Elvis channel. I'm getting paid to talk about the company now. First break.
Wow.
And they had some dude. We've talked about the Elvis channel. They find people that find it.
I can't get to it.
Hey, where's the speaker? Where's the speaker for this water?
Boiling some water. It's like he's got this story. And then he came up to me.
And then they played an amazing version of Blue Suede Shoes.
Blue Suede Shoes, of course.
No, I'm not even joking.
Yeah?
It was amazing. Because someone took the song and fucking updated it. There was scratching. I thought I was listening to a Drew Boogie production.
Really?
They scratched the shit out of it and added a whole bunch of drum beats.
Well.
Can we at least play that? E-Rock.
Oh, E-Rock.
All right, let me look for that.
All right, God.
Oh, no.
And then the only other song that I appreciated on the way in was Till Tuesday, Voices Carry.
Oh.
I just couldn't find music this morning, man.
It's rough too. On a long drive, it's dark.
Right.
You just the humming of the wheels on the pavement, and you got to stay awake.
I was going about 80, and then did you experience any of this fog on the way in?
No.
But it's that patchy fog. It's not that fog where it's like, oh, okay, we're in fog. Okay, I can handle this. It's like you're flying along and you hit a patch of fog. You're like, you think you're in a cloud?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I hope the road still goes straight because I have no idea.
Or there isn't a pileup.
Right.
Comes out of nowhere.
Holy fuck.
Here
we go.
That's a long drive, man.
Here we go. Let's go to Jim in Indiana. Go ahead, Jim.
Oh.
Hey, I just thought I'd give you guys my quick Elvis story. And I was stationed in Freiburg, Germany, same place he was.
Right.
And believe it or not, the same guy was still cutting hair there in 1986 that cut Elvis's hair, and they made a big deal out of it every day when you go in there. You know, you have his clippers on the wall with the pictures and all that shit.
Right. Did he have the clippers? Did he have a lock of Elvis's hair?
You got it, brother. All framed real nice and all that kind of
stuff.
Wow. We got some chat going on the Elvis channel right now. Yeah, let's go.
I'm gonna get a haircut.
I just thought I'd throw that out there for you. I knew everybody had an Elvis story. I'd throw mine
That's
in
a
there.
good Elvis story right there. That guy could be on the Elvis channel.
Yeah, they could
with
do
that.
They could do 20 minutes on that.
The guy was still cutting hair over there.
You got some Elvis chatting going on right now?
Yeah, they're talking about some guy who did business with him.
All right, let's hear.
But you know what, DJ? Scotty mentions in the book something that's very sad, and that is that he never made much money with Elvis. He lists all of his tax returns into the book.
He does.
Yes, sir.
Can you believe that? Isn't that interesting?
And the most he ever made in 1 year with Elvis was about
that
$18,000 to $20,000.
That's about it.
So you just
and
say
Elvis
that.
was making millions.
I mean, less
now,
than that.
Nothing
make
against
it more
Elvis, but Colonel
interesting.
Parker should have made a deal with you guys. And he says in the book, Scotty Moore, we're talking with DJ Fontana, ladies and gentlemen, Elvis' original drummer. And he just walked in the door unannounced. Great to see D. But Scotty says in the book,